Alabama is home to 9 national park units with 1.3 million combined visitors. From caves and canyons to a site dedicated to the first African American military pilots in the country, Alabama's national park units offer a look into both the natural and human history of the state. Let's take a look at every national park in Alabama. Many of Alabama's NPS units are dedicated to civil rights in the United States. Birmingham Civil Rights National Monument is one of them, covering 4 blocks of downtown Birmingham. The main attraction of the monument is the A.G. Gaston Motel, which originally opened in 1954. The motel was central to the campaign to desegregate Birmingham, playing host to influential guests including Martin Luther King Jr. The motel's courtyard was also the location of several important press conferences for the campaign. Other sites that make up the National Monument include 16th Street Baptist Church, the site of an attack by the Ku Klux Klan meant to scare civil rights activists, as well as the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute, a more modern addition that acts as a museum, educating visitors about the civil rights movement and Birmingham's role in it. Birmingham Civil Rights National Monument provides an enlightening showcase of America's civil rights movement through a combination of actual sites and educational resources. South of Birmingham is Selma to Montgomery National Historic Trail, established in 1996 to memorialize Alabama's 1965 Voting Rights March, led by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Visitors can follow close to the original route that 600 nonviolent protesters took from Brown Chapel African Methodist Episcopal Church into Selma, with interpretive centers at either end of the journey to help understand the gravity of the march. Alabama's final monument to the Civil Rights era is Freedom Riders National Monument. Freedom Riders were a group of civil rights activists that rode public buses in interracial groups to protest the continued segregation in the South. While this kind of segregation was already illegal according to the Supreme Court, Southern states chose not to enforce the ruling. As a result of their actions, the Interstate Commerce Commission banned segregation, with an additional ruling stating that buses and stations operating between states must be integrated. Today, visitors can relive the bravery of the Freedom Riders through the Anniston Civil Rights Heritage Trail, an auto trail in the National Monument that makes stops at several sites important to the Freedom Riders' story. African American history in the state from well before the 1960s is represented in Alabama's national park units as well. Tuskegee Institute National Historic Site commemorates the Normal School for Colored Teachers at Tuskegee, pioneered by Lewis Adams in 1881. Visitors to the site can tour the home of First Institute principal Booker T. Washington, who helped raise funds to buy the land on which the school was built. Along with a historic campus tour on the grounds of what is now called Tuskegee University, visitors can explore a museum dedicated to George Washington Carver, who taught at the institute. Tuskegee Institute played a large role in fighting racial discrimination during World War II, which is explored at nearby Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site. The Tuskegee Airmen were a group of African American pilots trained at the Tuskegee Institute. At the time, many people, both in the Army and outside of it, discriminated against black pilots by claiming they were not intelligent enough to operate military aircraft. The military's strict racial segregation actually led to more African Americans gaining jobs with them once the Tuskegee Airmen were deployed, as they required the hiring of the first African American flight surgeons to support the all-black unit. The bravery of these pilots to face discrimination from other soldiers on top of the dangers of war played a crucial role in inspiring racial equality and integration at home. The historic site is located at the Tuskegee Institute's Moton Field, one of the training sites used by the airmen. 2 hangars have been converted into museums to educate visitors and showcase artifacts from the time. The Hangar 2 Museum shows a 27-minute film showcasing the challenges faced not only by the airmen themselves, but the men and women that supported them as well. A replica of the red-tail P-51 Mustang flown by the airmen is also housed there. Unfortunately, the story of Native American history in the state of Alabama does not have a happy ending. Alabama contains a portion of Trail of Tears National Historic Trail, marking the route Native Americans took when they were forcibly removed from their homeland, including in Alabama, and sent west. Horseshoe Bend National Military Park protects the site of the Battle of Horseshoe Bend, where future President Andrew Jackson led an army to defeat 1,000 Red Stick Creek warriors, killing over 800 of them in the process. Jackson's victory gained him a reputation as a war hero, gaining 23 million acres of what would become parts of Alabama and Georgia. The sites may not represent America at its best, but it is important to remember this history to honor those who lost their lives and to not forget the suffering that was caused. The final category of national park unit in Alabama are the natural wonders. Russell Cave National Monument, located close to the Tennessee border, is a naturally formed cave that has been home to humans for thousands of years, up to around 1650 CE. Visitors cannot explore deep into the cave due to flooding risks, but the artifacts uncovered from the previous inhabitants of the cave can be viewed in the monument's museum. To learn more about Russell Cave and other interesting caves in the national park system, check out the video in the card above. Next up, Alabama contains a small portion of Natchez Trace Parkway and National Scenic Trail. The Parkway is a 444-mile recreational road that follows a travel corridor that was utilized by everyone from Native Americans to European settlers. The National Scenic Trail is made up of 5 sections of hiking trails that run alongside 60 miles of the Parkway. Last but certainly not least is Little River Canyon National Preserve. Covering over 15,000 acres of northeast Alabama, the standout feature is Little River. The river runs along the top of a mountain for most of its length, Lookout Mountain, starting from headwaters in northwestern Georgia. The preserve is also home to several rare plant species. Visitors can enjoy a wide range of recreational activities from climbing to paddling. The preserve is also home to 142 different bird species, making it a great place for bird watching. Hopefully this video helped you learn more about what the National Park Service has to offer in Alabama. From deep dives into civil rights movements to flowing rivers and breathtaking mountain views, Alabama has something for every kind of national park visitor. Whether you want to go rock climbing or take an educational car tour, you'll surely find something to enjoy in the state. Join us next time to learn about the National Parks of America's last frontier, Alaska. Thanks for watching.